Parks and Rec?
I've binged it a couple times. I think I'm more of an Office fan myself, but Parks and Rec is one of those shows that was very hard to recast. I didn't think you would go that route.
Well, before we start talking about our double feature, what pick did you like from Jake? What was the one that you thought was fantastic on Jake's set?
On Jake's, I personally thought Andy Samberg was excellent, and Zoe Deschanel. I thought those were fantastic picks.
Which is strange because only one of them was picked.
Yeah,
Zoe did not make it. And Jake, what was your favorite of Shaz?
Paul Rudd. I debated between Paul Rudd and Jason Segel for about 20 minutes trying to decide which one I was going to go with. And so I went with Jason Segel, which obviously was the wrong choice, but Paul Rudd's a great pick. I think he would play that character very well. So,
well, before we move on to the double features, there were two major missteps from each of you. So for me, it didn't make any difference. It was just seemed really odd. And I really wanted to talk to you about each of them. First off, it's going to be Timothy Simmons as Andy Dwyer, because Timothy has made a career of being kind of a prick.
To say the least.
Yeah. So what made you think he would be a good, dumb, sweet, lovable guy?
Yeah, I think it's just how dumb he is in his other shows, even though he's kind of a prick. Maybe if you take out the prickness of it, it's sweet. I don't know. I personally don't mind his characters being kind of D-bags. I think they're.
No, I don't mind them.
Still entertaining.
I just didn't think it was Andy Dwyer.
No, you're not wrong. I definitely, that's one of my picks. I was like, I'll try it and push it through.
And for me, I know you, Chaz, said you liked this pick, but I did not. And actually, nobody voted for it. It was Zoe Deschanel as April Ludgate.
Oh, interesting.
It's just the opposite. Zoe is such a sweet, wonderful, vibrant, happy person. I'm sure she could do it as an actress, but it just didn't seem like a good fit for April Ludgate, who's just this wet fish.
I don't see her that way though. And this is where I said at the beginning, I think I may have overthought some of the characters because I know these characters so well. And I don't see April as being mean all the time. She is in like the first two seasons, but she really grows as a character. And again, especially when she gets with Andy, she becomes much more lovable and is more quirky than she is mean. And so I think overall, Zoe Deschanel could play that really well.
Those are the two. I thought other than that, it was super strong. I love the fact that Bill Murray and Woody Harrelson had to go up against each other. I think both of them would have been fantastic Ron Swansons in their own different way. Cecily Strong and Leslie Mann were both strong picks. I really liked both of them. So you guys really came hard on this. You guys were not backing down. So we're going to do double feature. Now, had you made it to the tiebreaker, we would have done it. It could have been a movie or a TV series. Whatever your pick is. So we're going to start with Jake. You're just going to give me the name of the show, of the movie. Then I'll go to Chaz, and then I'll go back to Jake for an explanation. Because sometimes you hear the title and you go, oh, yeah, that's perfect. But the explanation from the other one sells it. So, Jake, what do you double feature with Parks and Rec?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay. Chaz? Okay. Jake, why Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah, and I know I had this written down and planned out before you said it was your favorite show, Craig. I just want to put that out there for the record. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of my favorite shows, and it just has the same type of humor. It's the same type of workplace comedy that Parks and Rec is. It's got a lot of the same feel, the same kind of ensemble cast, and it just really blends together. And honestly, it's a double feature we've done tons of times at our house where we'll watch a couple of episodes of Parks and Rec and then put on a couple of episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and they just go really well together.
It's odd. It was a Fox television series that moved to NBC, and it feels like it should have been on NBC the whole time.
I agree. Yep.
Because, Fox usually can't keep a series on unless it's cartoon for more than 2 seasons. And it just didn't feel like Fox. It felt like NBC. So and it's one of the funniest and sweetest shows. I'm not a big sweet guy, but that show can be overly sweet sometimes. Joe Latrulio forever. Chaz.
Well, Parks and Rec deals with like local government kind of stuff. whereas Veep deals with like federal government stuff, but they both make fun of how dumb each part is, or how, you know, overly, just dumb it can be. So I just think it pairs well with that in that sense, especially because Leslie Knope wants to be president, and she, if I recall correctly, she eventually does. Which
They never really say. They don't ever say.
I know one
sorry.
becomes a U.S. rep.
Yeah, Ben becomes a congressman for sure, but it looks like she becomes president. She's got Secret Service at the end of the show and everything. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, so I just think on that level, it would be a fun double feature.
Okay, well, in my initial thoughts are Veep became irrelevant as soon as Trump took office, because what was funny now became reality. All the stupid things that were happening actually could happen. Yep. And it became more of a dystopian nightmare than a comedy show. And so I'm going to go with Brooklyn Nine-Nine on that.
That's fair.
But they're both great shows. I watch both of them very much. In fact, I was on a flight with Julie Louis-Dreyfus when from LA to Utah when they had the Final Four, because her son was playing in the game. So yeah. Other than that, Jake, who do you think's got this, Rob or Chaz?
Oh, it's really tough. Rob's really, really good. Obviously, I've seen him beat two of my comrades in arms prior to this.
That's right. He has demolished the
he
entire.
Has.
Well, he couldn't. He couldn't get to you. He took your other two legs off. Yeah.
I'm the only one for Movies That Make Us that hasn't been destroyed by Rob yet. So we'll see what happens later. But obviously not this season. So yeah. I need to talk to you about that actually, but he's really good. But after going up against Chaz, the way you think about the picks and the way you put them together, I think it's going to be really good, because I think both of you pick very similarly and very completely. And so I think it's going to come down to the wire. If I, gun to my head, have to pick a winner, I'm probably going to go with Chaz, because I want to see Utah beat Texas. I want to see Rob lose to somebody from Utah.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to pick someone who didn't beat you. You're going to pick the guy who beat you and say, "Oh, I only lost
exactly.
To the best one.
Well, I lost to the best one." Right? Yeah. Exactly.
There you go. And
I'm nervous for that. It's gonna be fun.
Any smack talk for Rob next week?
Yeah, Utah's coming for you.
I love it.
The entire state of Utah is coming.
The whole state.
Rob.
All five of us. We're coming.
So they're going to get on their prairie schooners and they're going to load up. And they're going to head to Texas to fight Rob. As they get there, and they will say nothing naughty. They'll all be polite and passive aggressive.
Get ready, partner.
All right. Well, Jake, another great season. I really appreciate you being on the show. You did a fantastic job. Chaz, representing Utah the right way. You're doing a good job. Well, good luck to you next week. But until then, we will see you.